Hello, baby. How you doing?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Hey!
Hey, boner.
Hello, darling. All rise, order in the court. It is time, and we are back live. And Mikey did not die from his July 4th festivities, other than what the. Did you hear all the rumors?
No, I did not. I completely stayed off the net yesterday as I did nothing but sleep. I slept so much yesterday. I don't know how I even slept through the night as well. It was like I probably got a solid 18 hours of sleep yesterday.
Oh, what? You probably needed it.
I guess so. I don't know. My diverticulosis had acted up, and well, you know, you don't get to go to the bathroom for a couple of days, things like that.
You know, fun stuff.
You know, it happens. It happens, but that's all right. We're back and better than almost ever because we are not on the main channel. If you're watching this, you're like, wow, I wanted to watch this on the main channel. Main channel has been banned for 7 hard-fought days. I'm hoping at least maybe it was one of our YouTube rivals that had reported us as being such bad boys.
Well, you gotta love how YouTube likes you to, you know, like it's a gift from YouTube. Here, celebrate your independence by just
taking a week off of this channel, bud. Look, it's just the way it is. A video that's been up on our channels, YouTube, that is, for 6 entire years, still up at the moment as we speak. But your video that portrayed it as a melon alert, I guess, is well, that's not going to fly here at YouTube.
Well, when Mikey got a hold of me about the channel going down because of that, I said, you know what? I hate to say it, worth every second of it. Emily and I sat on the couch and watched it, and it was fantastic. Reliving the origin of the melons. I'm sitting here telling Emily, I'm like, listen, neither of us knew any of this was happening, you know.
Absolutely not.
It just kept getting worse and worse, and you know, the melon stains here, and then the one small melon stain in the back where you said, you know, that he just touched his finger to his back there. That's all it was. No big deal.
Oh, it is. Keep your eye out for World's Most Dangerous Chat merch coming soon.
Love that. Another one of my favorite things. God bless him. Dick Harris, who sent me a message in the middle of that saying, you know, you guys are missing a lot of Snapchat, or not Snapchat, what are they called? Super chats?
Super chats, baby.
A lot of super chats right now. I said, no shit, did we? Oh, God, I'll have to go back.
Much appreciated. But yes, when we're not live, it's kind of hard to catch them, you know. Could have, but we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't. It was a good time, though. Now everyone knows what Melon Alert is. I immediately ran and deleted it off of We Got a Chase so that they wouldn't get a strike over there, so we could still continue business as usual for them.
Andy, I think that's probably still up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is there a link to it in the Discord, or was that?
Oh, God, yeah.
I thought so, yeah.
Greg is the holder of the key. He always has it, like, handy dandy.
Oh, I love that. KH. Thank you and hallelujah. I appreciate it. Anyways, enough about that. We'll move on. It's court time. And one other thing, though, we do want to remind everybody is that just like courts out here, Chase is going to be on the Chase channel today.
So
FYI.
Appropriate channels only for till next Wednesday. Wednesday.
A few days. Wait, Fletcher, thank you. Hope everyone has all their fingers in homes. Yes. And even up until last night, it sounded like we live in Baghdad here, still going.
Oh, yeah. It just never stopped here.
People got a lot of money to piss away. Listen, I understand it's a lot of fun shooting off fireworks, but the amount of people that have spent well into the thousands, my neighbor's easily into the thousands, not just 1,000, thousands. I mean, when you're nonstop mortars for 4
hours.
Starting Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and into Wednesday.
After about 5 minutes of fireworks, I'm like, all right, those are great. Time to go inside.
Very fun fireworks story. Quickly, of course, big news about Carowinds and their main attraction with the crack in it, which is a whole ordeal. But they're doing it's their 50th anniversary apparently, so they're doing 50 nights of fireworks.
Oh God!
So every night there's a 4-minute show, right? So for the big fireworks, and when I say big fireworks, I mean the big traffic that you sit in and just watch the fireworks, because most people can't even get there on time. You got to be there like 3 hours ahead of time to go see the big fireworks. And 77 is backed up hours. I mean, people getting home 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, like that bad, right? They set off fireworks. 5-minute show, everybody leaves. Well, a lot of people try to leave. That wasn't the fireworks show. That was the 50th fireworks show. They failed to really tell people that the big show was an hour after that one.
Oh,
so like everybody left. They're all sitting in traffic, sitting on a highway everywhere. And all there is complaint after complaint after complaint about the 5-minute. The 5-minute show was for the 50th. That they're doing 50 days in a row. So the vast majority of people miss the actual fireworks at Carowinds this year. There's 2 really big events in the Charlotte area. That one and another one over Lake Wylie area. It's another hours in an hour.
Pronounced Whaley, but that's all right.
Lake Wylie. Anyways, I was just doing some more reading about that. And it's very funny because there's so many complaints. And every time somebody complains, it said, well, you should have looked at the little tiny sign as you come in through the parking. It's the only way anybody knew it. So I would have been. Could you imagine?
Oh, my God.
And you're leaving after this 5-minute shit show, and you're sitting in hours worth of traffic just to come to find out that you left before the actual. Still, that's stupid. Two fireworks shows in one night, an hour apart.
Never do 2 shows in a night. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got some TPO stuff coming up. We're going to try and get everybody checked in here. Thankfully, this judge is not the one that sits and takes 8 hours to read things. This judge actually gets to it, knocks it out, that kind of thing. Oh, no, that's terrible.
Creed missed out on the story, but the skate park kids set my hill on fire 10 feet from my apartment building. I held it off with a fire extinguisher to the. Oh my God!
Well done, hero.
Hashtag saving kitties. I like that. My cats actually were not bad throughout this because I think that since it went on for 5 days, basically, I think that.
Yeah, my dog didn't even care. I don't know if you even noticed it.
2 of our cats, one of our cats extremely scared. The others kind of a little bit, but I really didn't mind. Anyways, we could sit here and talk for days, catching up with you guys. We'll do that later. MB, I got to agree with you. And let's jump in.
I'm going to make one more call for Francis Barrett or Stephen Walmart.
That's
Stephen
Walmart. Walmart.
Yes.
Okay, not hearing any answer. I'm going to check
Walmart
the
or Kmart
court file and see if either of them have contacted the court.
The Walmarts are not here today.
No, I don't see that they have. Okay.
I miss Kmart.
All right, Mr. Salento.
Said nobody ever.
Yes.
Okay, so you're here. Did you get?
I got served.
Yeah, you did. You did get served notice, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You've been
Okay.
served.
And I'm going to call the case number. This is 23-184. And Mr. Salento, you're here in response to your notice and having been served.
They used to call me
It
Peg.
appears that Francis Barrett and Stephen Walmart
I work
have
Kmart.
He was begging for
the hearing. So the petition under that case number will be dismissed.
Crazy.
Ours
Had
there was only 2 places to shop.
Ours
Roses
had
and Kmart.
a snack bar, and they had all you could eat fish on Fridays.
Ours had like a restaurant attached to it.
Ours is all the way in the back.
Ours was just
Kmart
to the
cafeteria.
To the right. It was cafeteria with a K.
That makes sense. Donna.
That makes sense too.
I say Donna Luce. You say loose. You say Lucy. I say loose, looky. Luce.
Lucy, you got some splaining to do.
And,
that big
Mr. Salento, the temporary order that was previously granted is terminated now.
Thank you, guys. You're both terminated.
What do you mean? What do you mean the previous temp has been?
I'm sorry, Mr.
I'm sorry.
Salento,
Oh.
I couldn't quite hear you. You were sort of cut
I'm
off
sorry.
there. Could you say that again?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Good.
Okay. You were mentioning the temporary order from the previous one. Was that one based off this case? The protection?
Right.
Okay.
This case, that's case 23-184. I know that there are other orders and those orders are not affected by this.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, just this one.
Just this one. Okay.
Mhm.
I want to see this person talking.
I do too. I don't think we
Okay,
get
so
to, but I
you're
want to.
good to go, Mr. Salento.
Terminator,
Thank you so
congrats,
much.
by the way. Saw your message.
That's good stuff.
Good news.
Always good to see and hear that. Little Caesars, yeah, that was a later. Once they shut down the old K Cafe.
There you go.
Ever been to a Super K or a
All right,
Big
and
K?
I'm still not seeing anybody.
Knew a girl
for,
named Big K.
Teresa Anderson versus Patrick Chapman. So we'll deal with that at the end because Miss Mackey is here.
Lurk all you want.
And so I'm going to call that case next then. Miss Mackey, you want to?
Additional information that,
Sure, come on up to the table though. And then you can pick either table.
No need to
and
yell
then,
across the room. Come on up.
That way we'll be able to hear you.
Okay, Miss Mackey.
Okay, so this is some additional stuff you wanted to file in your case. Okay, I'll have the clerk stamp that. And has that information been filed on Kaylee and Mustafa?
the information on there, some of it is for my own safety. So it's just something that needs to be given to the court.
Okay.
I was told to give to the judge.
Sure, you can file that now. I just, my question was whether you had also seen that a copy of this was given to Kaylee and Mustafa.
And some of that information is on there and some of it is not.
All right, we'll get to that then. All right, so this will be case
What a cool name,
23-185. And Ms. Dowell, Mr. Baugh, you two can go ahead and turn on your sound.
It's down to the bayou. Mustafa sounds pretty badass. So you got
That's a badass name.
There we go. Okay, and so I see from my records here that
You're banging a white
you
chick.
were served notice at today's hearing and a copy of the petition that
down with the
Miss
squirrel.
Mackey filed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm going to verify with you as well that there was nothing filed in response. I didn't see that you two filed any documents or papers of your own.
Oh, I have quite a few threads of emails that had been forwarded. I did double check that they were on the file and I did see them on there with our case number. But I did have quite a few threads between our property manager and us.
Carol, hallelujah, 10 bones. Yeah, I condone Flush doing things like that. It's fine.
Guilt trip them. All of them.
Did you notice, again, thank you, Carol. Always a pleasure to see you. The fan of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Did you notice she's already getting all these advertisements in for free, of course, so that the new replacement to Twitter called Threads or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah. Well,
By Facebook and Instagram. She said it like 5 times now.
Just going over previous issues pretty in detail on each issue,
So
actually.
Were those filed by you?
Yes, they were. And then I also
Yeah, my exhibits are kind of
No, I
not
can't stop
particularly
swearing
well
at it.
organized
Okay.
here. So
yeah, I have all the
Yeah.
exhibit names.
look,
And then
I don't
for
know
the
what that
2
is.
videos
Okay.
and-
All right. We'll stop it right there.
It's bad.
If you look, it's like right here. It's like a Frankenstein's monster bolt coming out of her neck. I don't know if it's on her face or her neck, but it is something.
it's
Maybe it just needs to be lanced.
Ah!
Perhaps. Just and a little quick incision and a little pushing. But yeah, I knew you guys are going to talk about it and notice it. So go ahead and just get it out of the
get
way.
it out there and just Say
It's
how
large.
big it is.
It's big.
I can't help but stare at it. It almost makes her face look deformed at this point.
Well, because it is. But yeah.
Couple photos that I have, I also have those names written here. So if it's easier to do it by search, I can just give you those directly.
Yeah, just hold on 1 second here.
Yeah, no problem.
Preferably live on Zoom court.
Like he goes to put his arm around her and accidentally hits it and it busts everywhere. Oh no, that's a terrible angle for her. It's like her face is pregnant. Oh my God. I remember when I was a kid, there was a movie.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Where a lady had a baby out of her neck. It was like a full-grown Indian come out of her neck. I don't know what the name of the movie was, but I remember it scared the hell out of me, man. I was sitting there watching. I was like, this lady's pregnant in her neck. And then next thing you know, a full-grown American Indian come out of her neck, loincloth and all, already dressed. I watched a lot of weird movies when I was a kid.
Carol, I saw the sprinkler situation too. That's lovely. Enjoy that.
I get it. I was looking in the wrong place. That was my fault. No, I did see those. There are a couple of videos and some other things. Yeah, I did see those. Okay. Didn't mean to scare you there. I did get what you filed.
Thank you.
All right. And then also, of course, Miss Mackey, I have the information that you filed as well. Okay. Now I've read, as I said, except for what was just filed this morning, I have read and seen everything that was filed in this case. So I have a good overview, Ms. Mackey, of what you're claiming that Ms. Dowell and Mr. Baugh have done.
I did want to say there is commentary on the information that was given to you in court just now.
This?
Yes, in relation to the claims that are being presented to you as quote unquote evidence. There was never any verbal interaction between myself and the respondents.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of stop you right there.
Okay.
I'm
I
just
want to make sure that's
right
clear.
at this point. What I'm doing is just making sure that everybody knows kind of what's already been done up to this point in the case, what's available for everybody to review and to prepare. Yeah. And then in a moment here, we're going to kind of enter a little bit the more formal part of this, where I'm going to swear the parties in and I'm going to hear from both sides and make a decision about this order that's been petitioned for, taking into account, everything that you've already filed and everything that you tell me today. So I'm going to kind of orient you to how I'm going to do that.
Pleasure. Thank you for the 2 bones. Those of you who don't know what happened to Carol, they have adjusted some sprinklers outside. Of course, her living where she lives is able to open up windows. We're not. It'd be like opening up an oven door and just keeping it on all day. Anyways, sprinklers going off and I apparently did some damage to her sewing machine. All right, it's coming right through the window. Those sprinklers can be shooting some good water too. So that's the deal with that. Gary.
Welcome. Gary. That's okay. This is for both of you. First of all, I'm prefacing this by saying that I am familiar with the situation as you've presented it to the court from both sides. So all the documents you filed, there were also videos and some other things, emails. I have reviewed all those, and I am familiar with what you're claiming and what your response is. I'm going to swear you both in, and then the way this will go is, Ms. Mackey, you're the petitioner in this case, and I'm going to let you go first, and I'm going to let you tell me why it is that you think that the court should grant or extend the anti-harassment order. You'll get an uninterrupted chance to tell me your side of it, and then once you've done that, once you've finished with that, then it'll be Ms. Dowell and Mr. Baugh's turn. Same thing. You'll both tell me your side of it, your response, anything that you think I need to know. And then after I've heard from each of you, I'll make a decision about whether the order gets granted. And I want all of you to understand that I apply the preponderance of the evidence standards. So in this case, Ms. Mackey, or the petitioner, you have the burden to show by a preponderance of the evidence, and that means the greater weight of the evidence, that you're entitled to the order that you're asking the court to issue.
Hello.
So when I
request the paperwork as notes, because I only have one copy.
I'm sorry, are you requesting?
The paperwork that I
Can I have my
just gave
paperwork
to
back I
you?
just gave you? That's
Yeah,
it's the only
that's
copy.
my only
This is the
copy.
only one you had?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I need that. as
Yes,
my
I will
notes.
do that. I'll have the clerk make a copy, and then you can have that in your hand.
Only brought enough for myself,
So
Judge.
during the time that we're doing this, I'm gonna ask both Ms. Dow and Mr. Bod to just not interrupt Ms. Mackey when she tells her side of things.
He's there to change.
And then Ms.
all the
Mackey,
time,
same
you know
thing,
what I
when
mean?
they tell
On
their
the
side of
toilet,
things,
that's
don't
what
interrupt them. Thank you. And then that way I'll be able to hear, both of you and be able to make a decision
Is there a
based on what you
request?
tell me.
Can I request that the respondents go show their evidence first?
No, that wouldn't be the right procedure. Those are yours, by the way.
Miss
No,
Mackey
you'll
trying to
need
take
to,
over
you'll need to go
court.
first.
Yeah, she's making up her own moves today, I guess.
I'd like to defer to them for the coin toss. I'd like them to go first, even though I'm the one bringing them here. So I don't know what they would say, but okay.
I love his reaction too. No,
Doesn't work that way. But thank you for asking.
It's great move.
But again, and so we're going to get started with this. So can I have all three of you please raise your right hands?
What about the baby?
And do each of you swear that the testimony that you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody?
I bet he can
All right,
palm a
thank you.
basketball.
I didn't know if we were
Good.
doing it.
Okay, so Ms. Mackey, you get to go first and tell me why you believe the court should issue this order. And while you're doing that, just do keep in mind that like I said, I've read your petition. I'm familiar with
And how long
those
do I have?
circumstances. I'll tell you if it's too long. Okay.
All right, since 2020, I have endured continual and now increasingly malicious noise harassment, vandalism, damage to property, and threats of harm from the respondents. This behavior has increased and escalated in frequency and severity after police were called and after being served. The respondents have increased their hate crime, harassment, and threatening behavior after being served. I am requesting the court extend my protection order and have the respondents evicted from the entire Westlake apartment property for my.
Wow. So, okay. So we want a complete eviction of these people. By the way, I just want to throw out there, she's throwing a lot against
hate crime, Creed. That's a very, very terrible thing to accuse of somebody. A hate crime, vandalism. What did she say? Noise harassment, I believe was the term.
Dave, you got to admit, it's well written so far. I'll give her that. There's no doubt about that. Wait till she calls the white lady down there racist.
Oh, well, she probably is.
That escalated quickly.
I have had to flee to a DVD shelter outside the area due to the increase.
What?
And in malicious.
Look at the smile down here, though. Is like, is she smiling?
Is she rightful to go to a domestic violence shelter? She's fleed to a domestic violence shelter?
She's in her own apartment. I'm guessing this is an apartment complex, or
these three are not in a domestic situation, are they? They're neighbors.
Are they neighbors, or are they all a roommate
neighbors.
situation?
No, they're neighbors.
Mikey, I think she said neck harassment.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. Well, I stand corrected.
All right. So far, though, sounds good. Whatever she's reading, definitely DVD shelter, a VHS shelter. All right, off to a good start on this one. I like it.
It's just loud and threatening behavior by the respondents after being served. They have evaded police several times to avoid being served. They have continued harassment and threats after police called numerous times. They have now increased their violent noise harassment relentlessly during the day and throughout the night. The damage has included inducing trauma from the relentless, severe, and violent noise, hate crime, vandalism, and threats to harm. These threats have included, quote unquote, I will bash your head in if I see you on your bike. Quote unquote, fuck you, fucking bitch. I'm going to fuck you up. And quote unquote, I'm going to bang your head. The apartment, as of right now, is complete.
Imagine how she must have a pretty badass bike. If they every time that she's on her bike,
stay
they
off the
say that.
goddamn bike. I mean, that's solved the problem. They said only if we see you on your bike
Exactly
will
what she
these things
said.
happen. I mean, wow. I mean, maybe these people have said that allegedly, but wow. Quote, in quote. She loves quotes, by the way. Bang your head, bash your head, F you up, you effing B word.
We need to teach this couple down here to take just a screwdriver to the spokes, and that's how you get people shut up real quick.
Flatten them tires, baby.
Right. Good Lord.
Uninhabitable.
I hope that these people have some receipts. That's all I'm, because
I almost feel like they're like, Judge, we didn't do any of that. Thank you.
Due to their increase in violent, threatening behavior. This behavior includes kicking my door, banging on the outside of my apartment wall in the middle of the night, damage to the ceiling, cracks and water leaking from the roof, from stomping the floor and walls. This is damage to my apartment, the ceiling and the bathroom, and the living room right now has cracks in it. Making unprovoked comments in bedroom windows several times a day. This is in reference to their quote unquote evidence. This was done completely unprovoked. I'm inside my home. He's outside, coming outside several times to make comments through my window. He's making the comments. I am not making any comments at all. I'm inside my home.
You're beautiful.
I was thinking that too. They were dancing to a
These
jig.
comments are unprovoked and malicious in content. Making felony harassment threats to seriously harm when me entering or leaving the house on my bike. When I say felony harassment threats, I am referring to the threats of immediate harm done completely unprovoked when I'm leaving and entering, when I'm leaving my house on my bike.
Psst, guess who?
Blocking the doorway and parking right in front of my door to harass and frighten and intimidate. This was done both before and after being served. He continued, both parties, both the respondents continued to park right in front of my door. Increasing in frequency and severity of brazen threats, noise harassment, and relentless violent behavior. This behavior not only continued, but it actually increased in severity, and this is why I'm not able to be there. They were court ordered to not be on the property after these threats were made, in addition to the harassment, and they continued to remain there. And so I am happy to leave for my safety.
Can you hold on 1 second? I got to talk about some of the things she said. All right. Any damage to her apartment, I'm sure they have a landlord. They're renting this place.
Right.
Why has this not just been brought to the attention of the building owner, manager, whatever? You know, what are they doing up there? Are they, neither one of these look like very big people. Maybe they started a wrestling school up there. I don't know.
Possible. Like you said, what was the one on SNL that was dancing like that? You know, I could just see, you know what I'm talking about when she got caught
dancing up a storm up there. Or perhaps she's talking about them parking in front of her apartment. Well, they live above you. Of course,
Right.
they're going to park right out there because
now
where you live is where they live.
Maybe we'll find out that she did try to get a hold of the landlord. I'm guessing we're not going to hear anything about that. But
well, the white lady down there said she had threads between her and the landlord. So maybe he's already made his statement off the record.
It's possible. Like I said, all I'm hoping for is that they actually have some receipts to this, because there's a lot being thrown out here.
Which I'm asking the court to take into consideration, because right now I'm paying to live in an apartment that's completely inhabitable. I cannot be there. I'm asking the court to please extend my protection order and have the respondents evicted and removed from the property for my safety. And I'm asking this after dealing with.
I also want to point out that she would like them to leave, a couple, and their baby, their baby to leave, not just her.
She wants the entire family to be kicked out of this apartment building. Since 2020, they have had numerous. They've had numerous chances. They've had numerous very lenient. Both law enforcement, property owners, and myself have been very lenient. I opt not to call the police the last time before leaving the apartment. I opt not to call the police and have them arrested so they could be here to present their side of the story, because I believe in the Constitution. I believe in constitutional.
Did she? Okay, hold on. Did she just say that she opted not to call the police the last time, so that they would not be arrested and locked up, so that they could make it here for court? That's what she just said, right?
Correct. Yes. And that she and the landlords have been very lenient with them over the past couple of years, since 2020. Again, I don't believe the court can kick these people out that are paying rent, and the landlord don't want them to be kicked out or anything like that. I don't think they have the power to just kick them out of their apartment. I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Wow. Could you imagine if that's your thinking in your head, though?
She's nuts, if possible.
Oh man, that's like the people I was watching the tow, everything auto up in Gatlinburg, watching their video, and this guy messed up pretty bad. I went through a whole bunch of stuff. Well, anyways, he called his insurance to see if his insurance would cover the parking ticket or the parking toll. It's insurance.
Wow.
To pay for the tow.
It said you guys paid for towing
illegally.
Towing is one of my things, right?
So these people live among us.
Right. I believe my rights and everybody else should have their rights to be heard. Thank you.
And then Mr. Baugh and Ms. Dell, I guess you can choose between yourselves who goes first, and then I'll hear from the other afterwards.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor.
Actually, you can go first. It's the same story, same thing, basically the same story.
Yeah. Okay. So we have multiple pieces of information. As I got the paper on Sunday evening, and I wasn't able to get the police record, the phone call record, but I did submit that. So if we are maybe wanting that as a key piece of information, we can maybe push it out. I don't know how we would do that. I'm not familiar with this stuff, but we have called the police multiple times between us. We've had our property manager as well as our right next door upstairs neighbors out there multiple times. And all three of us have actually had to call the cops together and separately on multiple occasions due to noise disturbances. We also had one incident where there was just screaming very, very loudly. We were all standing out there. We all called the cops together.
I can see Mackie
that
in there just screaming at the top of her lungs about something.
I mean, she's allegedly been crying the entire time she's been talking with this, like she seems like the kind of lady that could get out of hand, if you know what I
Mhm.
mean, if given the chance.
I can totally see it.
There and
Not
nobody.
Everything they're saying
Hold on.
is not
Just
true.
hang on for a second, Ms. Dowell, okay?
Blatantly not true.
Ms. Mackey,
Uh-oh.
please, I said at the beginning to don't interrupt each other, and I'm gonna
Very,
just do
very
this. I'm
clear
gonna
right
just do
now
this one reminder that
The
there
information is
can't be any interruptions. Ms. Mackey, it's
She's
important that you
interrupting
don't
them.
interrupt
No.
people because that's not how court works, okay? Court works by people talking one at a time, and if you interrupt each other, it makes it impossible to understand what's going on, okay? So just like good manners.
Good
we
chance.
don't interrupt each other in court, okay?
what they're saying is untrue.
Okay, I understand that, but keep in mind that I heard your side, I'm gonna hear their side. And that's how it works. Everybody gets to tell their side. You don't get to interrupt each other.
We're
while you're
quiet the
doing
entire
that,
time.
okay? Like I said, that just makes it
Can't leave the phone
impossible
alone.
to do this correctly. So even though you believe they're telling me things that aren't true, I'm gonna ask you to hold your peace because remember, I already.
Oh my. Miss Mackey, not getting on the judge's good side by constantly talking while they're talking.
No, and she's still talking over him while he's explaining not to do that. So
Not
also,
good.
This cute kid just grabbed the phone though, right?
Oh yeah. He walked up and grabbed it. That's why we had to pick him up because he had the phone.
They made some smiles, some smirks, that's about it, but they kept quiet through the whole thing. At least they were nice about that, kept on mute. Yeah, that's scary there, that thing.
Heard your side, right? Okay, so Ms. Dowell, go ahead.
Thank you. And then if you are wanting more information or evidence on that, I am actually looking into getting the actual phone call from that night because that was my main goal, was to actually get that phone call so that you could hear the apartment manager actually stating what was going on. She was the one who was talking at first. But then, so I have kind of have a timeline written out that just kind of shows basically the events that have gone down. So we moved into Westlake's apartments in October of 2019. Our first complaint was actually on August 10th, 2020, and it just went on from there and has escalated as we have been the ones who have been harassed. Our first incident where I was actually harassed myself, it wasn't as much including Mustafa, it was actually more just me. We were going hiking one morning. And this is actually went over in the email. And as you can see in the email, it has the date. So they are from the exact time that it happened because my property manager wanted me to have a record, probably for this reason. But we were going hiking and we were loading the car up and I went out to the car on my own. And I was just loading the stuff up and she come out to the door and held the door open and hid it into a different car and was really, really intimidating me until Mustafa came out and saved me and sent me upstairs. Thank goodness, because I was shaking. I was so scared and I have been afraid in this apartment ever since. We have been avoiding all type of contact with her ever since that incident had happened. We just have a 1-year-old right now. We have a baby. So any type of noise, unfortunately, would be related to the baby. And we do try to keep it as quiet as possible because she's sleeping most of the time. During the daytime from 9 to 7 o'clock, Mustafa, he's worked full time the entire time we've lived here. I worked full time for most of the time until, getting close to the birth. So we mostly been gone during the daytime. And then, so we're here every single night, but we're gone during the day. So noise during the daytime has never made any sense to us, but we have been receiving information about that. I have images and videos that I have put in the file that include her stalking and watching us as we're coming in and out of our unit, our apartment with our baby also in arms. So we have her videoing us and our child. And relating to the parking, look at
the judge.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, go ahead, Ms. Dowell.
Oh, that was to
tell her to shut up.
Yeah, I was wondering what was happening there. By the way, you can record somebody outside of your apartment. It's public.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, he just had to yell at Mrs. Mackey again. Not going good.
The parking, we do not have assigned parking here. We do not get to choose where we park. We don't have an undercover parking because that does cost an extra fee that we don't pay. So we get to park wherever there's any open spots. And unfortunately, her unit is directly below ours, which makes the walkway in within the same couple feet. So, and her window is literally completely kitty corner, top and bottom to ours. So there's no way that we can park anywhere else. We have very limited parking. A lot of the time we actually have to park on the other side because there's so little parking and so many people in this area. We do not have a say in where we get to park at all. It's just where we go. But we also have multiple police records of us making phone calls just for regular noise complaints, which I'm trying to get a hold of at the moment. We have never had the police called on us besides this being served. And I was trying to see if I could get any records of that. I'm not super familiar with the situation, with how this stuff goes, but we have never had any like noise complaints here or anything. We have had one issue with Mary discussing noise, and we invited her in. She came in and, you know, listened to our noise, cleared everything that we were doing. And that was the only time we've ever had any issues.
Miss Dell, can I have you just hold on for 1 second here?
Oh shit.
Yes.
Miss Becky, you appear to be struggling to follow the rules. Okay. And I've reminded you a couple of times, and you did it again. And I'm trying to listen to what Ms. Dowell is telling me the same way I listen to what you're telling me. So what I'm going to do here, because this may be a situation where emotions are hard to control. So Ms. Dowell, Mr. Baugh, I want you to hear this too. I'm going to take a break here. All right. I'm going to take 5 minutes, and then Ms. Mackey, I want you to spend those 5 minutes kind of getting yourself in the frame of mind to do a court hearing, which means, you know, you got to focus, you got to follow the rules, and you can't interrupt people. Okay. Then after that 5 minutes, we'll come back, and then we'll let Ms. Dowell finish up, and then I'll make a decision. Okay. But I think it's going to be best if you just take a breath, maybe go outside and get a couple breaths of fresh air, and then come back in here and we'll finish up.
Take a walk, bitch.
So we'll be at recess for the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
the judge, not me. I didn't.
She wore the judge down so much he needed to go have a smoke.
Are you two ready to resume where we left off?
Smoke.
Yes, we are.
Wow.
Let me just get back to
Go ahead.
They're like, we're
All
so
right.
glad the judge got to see her crazy side.
Right? Listen, that's embarrassing. I don't know if Cuckoo
Okay.
there even knows it, but my God, I mean, he just stopped. He is such a nice dude
He is.
too.
Very
the way
nice.
that he just said that was obviously a backhanded, way of saying, you're really screwing this up and killing.
Could you
Corey.
imagine like a Judge Simpson or
No.
Judge Manning getting a hold of her? They would, she'd be like in contempt of court and locked up right now.
God. One square,
Wonder
double
Twin.
D's, 5 bones. I blame Stan.
I blame Stan too.
It's all
Damn it,
Stan's
Stan.
fault.
Wow.
One thing I wanted to point out real quick too. Now I'll wait to the end. I was just going to say that I think that he's got a lot to look at in this case.
They've submitted a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the Goiter said there was a lot of things in the file. So we'll have to take that into consideration because I don't think we're going to see any.
So a few things we just, I just took note of. So the leaks, the cracks and damage and such in the bathroom area. I wanted to address that real quick. So our apartment manager is very aware of the situation that has caused damage in that area. There was a leak in our bathroom. One of the connector pieces got worn and had completely come off. Mary actually came over and tried to help and made it worse and actually had it spewing out. That was her that accidentally did that. And then we had to get one of the maintenance fellas to come over and help us. So she's very well aware of that. That was actually her doing more than us, as well as the faulty pieces under the sink. So that is, she's very aware of that. That is definitely not due to any type of banging. We have experienced intense banging over the whole time we've lived here. Not due to us. Most of the time when we hear that, we message with our neighbors. We're friends with our neighbors next door, and they've had ongoing issues with her as well. But they are also very well aware. We're trying to get statements, but everybody around here works. We had short time. We have a kid, so it's been hard to get everything all in order in a timely manner. But we can get statements from them.
Was that kind of another slap? Everyone around here works. We don't have time, which I get. Listen, yeah. Get it. You got a kid, you got an apartment, you got bills, you're both working.
I like that we shut down the whole like we're terrorizing her with our leaky sink when the owner, the landlord, came over to try and fix it and made it worse.
Yeah.
And is completely aware of everything that's going on, but yet we're still going to accuse these people of being malicious.
I think between that one and the fact that they're all gone during the day and still getting complaints about noise upstairs is great.
Haunted, I told you. Them's ghosts.
This guy's got some patience, I tell you.
Just going over their issues and such and their experiences with her, and they've called the police multiple times for wellness checks for sound complaints. So that's another issue that they've had as well. And then and the videos and photos that I have are not all of the evidence, but that is just all that I have at the moment because I did get a new phone and not all of my images were saved onto the iCloud. And so I have only that limited stuff, but there has been multiple more encounters that I have gone over in the emails that kind of explain a little bit better and more what's going on. We've been very desperate about this situation. We didn't know what to do, and we have asked the cops for advice. We have asked our property manager for advice. You can hear kind of understand the desperation in those emails. It kind of comes across, I feel. But the cops have come to her house multiple times, and we've asked them for advice, and no one's told us what we should do other than just try to avoid and ignore the situation and the noises. And that's basically what we've been doing, is just trying to focus on being parents, working, because of course, the economy is kind of, a lot right now. So we've just been trying to focus on, our lives and doing our thing. We didn't realize there was any type of order we could file to kind of deal with the issue. Otherwise, we would have done this back way before the baby even had come, because we've been dealing with this issue for a very long time.
Hey, listen, some people are not into the court system, but understand.
Yeah, they're not very
things to do. I get it.
Filing complaints all the time, like obviously our friend Miss Mackie McKay's over here filing stuff.
I gotta say, this couple seems very chill.
They are.
They seem very dedicated to their child, paying bills, working, doing the right thing.
I mean, a couple of people have said maybe she's upset that he's with a white lady.
It's been said quite a few times in the comments.
I'm sure that's a possibility. Anything's possible. Or she just got like several damn screws loose, which is again possible, allegedly.
This couple reminds me of somebody that, yes, could go absolute apeshit if you bother them enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I could see that
pushing them to their limits,
right? Which that could be said for me too. Well, doesn't take much.
Everybody has a breaking point,
right? She's throwing it out there. This whole look of being a straight shooter. I believe them. I'm just saying. I think Miss Mackey's nuts.
And there has been a verbal confrontation multiple times. It is like on multiple different occasions.
Yes,
they are very pretty.
Yeah, and and some of the banging, and there was a couple of times that she would bang. Some of the banging would get so severe that there was one time I was scared for her. I thought there was someone down there beating her up and throwing her around. And then so I went down and I was knocking on her door like, "Hey, what's going on? Is someone okay?" And then, I heard her yelling, "Get the F away from my door." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So that was
and she has called us the B word. She has said F you guys, F you all, and F you too on multiple occasions to us, using very vulgar language. Saying this is America, saying she was going to put a curse. Like, it's been very strange stuff that's going on. And our property manager wasn't comfortable to make a statement. She didn't want to get super involved, but she is willing to, if you need to call for any factual information on actual events, actual timeline, she's available for that. But she just didn't want to release an emotional statement because she didn't feel it was appropriate.
Because she's got to deal with Miss Mackey too.
But she does know.
And the curse.
She's been involved the entire time, knows about everything in detail.
Yeah, I saw the email.
Oh, that big fat boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big boy.
All right. I appreciate you going over that. Most of that, or much of that, is information that was also in the exhibits and so forth. And I fully understand what your response is. And Ms. Mackey, I also understand the allegations that you've made against Mr. Baugh and Ms. Dowell. Now, I got to, kind of start and preface this by saying that in a dispute like this, or, conflict like this between people who live in the same apartment complex or neighbors, the court doesn't have the authority to evict anybody. They don't have the authority to move people out of their homes or restrict their ability to be in their homes. That's not within the jurisdiction of this court, and it's not within the powers that the court has under the anti-harassment law. Evictions and things like that are different. They're handled in superior court, and they're handled in a different way than this. So I'm taking that right off the table. That is not a possibility here for the court to do that. So what I do have to do is look at, what I've been told, what I've been shown in exhibits, and weigh all that up and determine whether there's been proof here of harassment. And I'm going to say, right at the start here, that I am not persuaded by a preponderance of the evidence that there's been harassment by Mr. Baugh and Ms. Dowell against Ms. Mackey. I can't find that based on the evidence that's been presented here today. It doesn't rise to the level of being strong enough to find by a preponderance of the evidence that harassment has occurred. Now, that isn't to say that I don't find that there's conflict here, or that there have been, some bad words exchanged and unattractive things said, and people have attributed, each of you, I think, has attributed to the other some bad motives, and you clearly have tried in your own way to get these things addressed by talking to your property manager and also to law enforcement. But ultimately, you've landed here, in front of me. And I put it to you this way because I do need you to understand that these proceedings are limited. I don't just have unlimited authority to, resolve the conflict between the two of you. That isn't within the powers of the court. What I can do is what the law has given me the authority to do. But under that law, I do not believe that the proof is there, that it's sufficient in order to find that there's been that kind of harassment by Mr. Baugh and Ms. Dowell against you, Ms. Mackey. So as a result, I'm going to have to deny your order. And I would like to leave you with, I appreciate that the two of you, or the three of you, the two sides here, that you've attempted to resolve this in peaceful ways by going through your property manager, going through law enforcement, instead of confronting each other, instead of there being any violence. That's definitely preferable. Now, there isn't a resolution, obviously. I can't send you away from here with all your problems solved and make you good neighbors with each other, but I will encourage you to keep on handling this in a peaceful way between you, and hopefully, I hope that your property manager will be able to offer a little bit more in the way of, relief than maybe they have up to this point. Because as I said, the court just cannot solve your problem in the way I think you want it solved. So the bottom line here, Ms. Mackey, is unfortunately for you, your petition for the order is denied, and that will bring this case to a conclusion. Now, I will write up an order that is consistent with what I said here, and that order will be available in the court file permanently, and either of you, any of you, can get a copy of it whenever you'd like.
Sure. Thank you, Your Honor.
Wow. Miss Mackey.
That kid's a cute kid, though. We'll give him
Oh
that.
my God, yes. That kid was cute as hell.
Good luck with that. One of them needs to move.
Yeah, it's not going to get any better. I feel like with Miss Mackey, she's got her mind set on being a complete and utter, creed.
Nice to see a couple be brought into court with such huge accusations against.
Oh my God, yeah, they were going threats of violence and everything else.
Jim,
you know what we're talking about.
And again, I think there was a good bit of. I think that they submitted a good bit of evidence also in the file.
It seemed like they came with receipts. Of course, in this courtroom, we don't get to see those. We just get to hear what Miss Mackey's got to say about the whole thing. And I'm sure they're excited for, I bet the 4th of July was nice over there with her complaining about the noise and all. So I'm sure it was a great time to be had there.
I wasn't even going to say hi to Kitchen Court Cases. I come into her boob stream the other night. I put up boobs. It was funny. Doesn't even say hi to me. Mayor didn't even say hi to me.
Look, it happens to me all the time. I go into chats at different places and people are like, herpes had just showed up to the orgy. It's like,
it's funny.
everybody's
Make
like,
a comment. And then it said hello to everybody. Not one person says hi to me in the chat. I said, okay.
it happens to me all the time. It happens to me in our own Discord where I'm like, hey, everybody, I know you're happy to see me. And they're like,
check out this recipe.
Miss Mackey had showed up. It was terrible. It happens to me all the time, though. I'm glad it's not just me.
Kitchens, they call you. Thank you. You made a great choice.
Kitchens of the courts. Yeah, but since we're going to be shut down, of course, Creed said it earlier, you're going to have to watch us for We Gotta Chase on the YouTubes. That's the only place you'll be able to see it, just like court will be only over here for the illustrious ones.
I'm just kidding, Casey. See, I watched quite a while, actually. I always watch on Roku. So even though I do lurk on a lot of different streams and stuff, I don't take the time to grab my phone I'm that way.
It's just the way it is.
That's the way it goes, I heard.
Heard the Eagles and Steely Dan are going to be playing in Raleigh.
I heard on Facebook these people having a fight about the Hard Rock Park that they built in Myrtle Beach, the theme park that's now, gone and dismantled, that the Eagles owned it. No, the Eagles played there. Like it's the first
because they named all the rides after like bands and stuff.
Yeah, it's Hard Rock. It's a theme.
Yeah.
It's how it works. And then they say, the Eagles owned it.
No.
No. Yeah. All right. I don't know.
Such high hopes for that place, by the way, when I heard it was going to be built. Such high hopes.
Yeah, never had a chance. Just never had a chance. And by the way, it was very expensive to get in. I don't even feel bad not ever going there.
I never went.
I was in the parking lots. The Bang Your Head Express, Miss Mackey. I'm glad justice was served today.
Yes.
KH, thank you. Flusha, Donna, MB, Carol, Flusha, Sue to So, Gary, Kiernoff, Mayor, Wonder Twin, Double D's, KCC, or Kitsch for short.
Oh, I hate that word.
I know you do. That's why I said it twice now. It's a vibe. Yes.
It's vibing, babe. Babe, we're vibing.
Views. We said vibe. YouTube loves it.
Vibing in court. Court vibes. Catch them if you can. Oh, boy. You guys, I hope you had a good time. I know we did. Keep an eye out on both We Got a Case and over on We Got a Chase for videos to appear magically. Just more content to try and make up for the lost time we're having on the other one where we're this close to 1 million views in 28 days. When I say close, I mean 999,990 something.
It's like YouTube said, oh no.
You're doing way too well.
He sends me that thing and I said, that is just so fitting for us.
Yeah,
it's perfect. Writes itself. That's exactly what you need. No, you can't hit 1 million, but you could have 999,999.99.
Yeah, why not? Big thank you to the world's most dangerous chat. Looks like that was, I think the Eagles made that for the Hard Rock theme park. Melon Alert ride. Check it out. We love you guys. We'll be back again very soon. Go back and watch some old shows. Give them likes. Give them the comments. And until the next time, be safe. No, stay safe. Damn it. Stay safe. Stay hard. Stay tuned. Because we're better than you.
Denied.
Bye. Yeah.